Hello, everybody, and welcome to a Happy New Year episode of Life Theories. We've got Diana from Trailblazers of the Universe with us today. From the US of A, we've got Jay from WWHealth, or Journey of a White Feather, down in Australia. And myself, Sarah from Small Sarah Big Soul, up here in Canada. And a little bit later, we will be joined by Matt Beres. He is a shadow coach. That's correct, right? He does shadow work.
He has some other things,
Does whatever.
but yeah, that's
Yeah,
a
I
big
know
thing.
he does a bunch of other stuff too, but just to give the guy a good introduction about what he does, he is a coach and a healer, and he will be joining us today for our discussion on our yearly review and all the other great things we're going to be talking about today. Jay, you were mentioning something just a second ago about what you wanted to get into.
I think we've gone through 2022. I think we did a lot of groundwork with regards to our shadow, regards to ourselves and our connection to the universe. And also I had my Jackie Lyons. It was fantastic.
Akashic Records session.
Akashic Records. That's the one. I call it esoteric, hopeless, aren't I?
Yeah.
Hopeless. But a lot of the stuff came up, and I think the most important thing is when we found out with all this shadow work is actually backing yourself in from with what you're learning, what you're picking up, and what you're growing as a person. It's a lot of hard work to actually back yourself when you do these kind of things, like not walking blind, but walking with purpose, and whatever happens.
Yeah, I'm definitely putting a lot of energy into having intention and purpose with everything that I do. And if what I'm trying to do isn't sinking in to my highest purpose or lining up with my highest purpose, I don't want to have anything to do with it. And if it's not something that's going to fall in line with my truest intentions, I don't want it. I don't want to indulge in it. So yeah, no, I'm definitely feeling you on that one.
Diana, how you going?
Yeah, I think the biggest themes this year or what I kind of learned and would like to bring into next year. I think I do agree with you on with Sarah, where she says about, if things aren't in alignment with the version I want to be, with where my life wants to go, my highest self, it doesn't resonate. I don't really want it. Which brings me to the point, I'm constantly in the situation as an empath. Sometimes we choose to help other people. We choose relationships. We choose to try to fix our family or whatever it is. I'm constantly being presented with options like, am I going to choose myself and my peace and my sanity? Or am I going to choose the chaos? Or sometimes the chaos isn't always intentional, but because we are more healers or whatever you want to call it, and are empaths and want to help people, we attract a lot of those situations. And it's hard. It's really like situations that tear at you, right? Even for me, it's family stuff, relationships, time and time again, it's just like, what am I going to choose? And even though sometimes they can feel lonelier when you choose yourself, because that means you're sometimes either setting boundaries with people or cutting people off, or just you're spending more time by yourself to protect your energy. But I'm finding every time I make that choice, it always works out better. And sometimes the people will even either rise up and they'll actually come up to your level and they'll work to improve something, or even apologize, or it works out better. Or sometimes they fall off and I just have to allow changes flow over force. Like we said, like we've been saying on these episodes, if it doesn't really flow, if I have to force something so much and try to make something work, or it just feels like, it's like that tension, I don't know. I might have certain things. I have to let it go sometimes. It can be painful to let things go, actually. But it just cutting those cords, man, those attachments can ascend. We can get to the next level. It's hard. But it's a process. I face this test every day in different situations. And it's like, wow, oh, this is this again.
And we've had a lot of stuff happen probably the last 4 weeks for me, and mainly because I feel like I've ascended in a lot of ways and being aware of what's going on, but I've also been given the gifts of everything I've ever wanted, but also, oh mate, it's there. I mean, you can pretty much, call the bus with the padded cells and some of the stuff that I've been going through. Wow, but it's good because you're coming into that next level spiritual realm, if you want to put it that way. That we're still not we're above anyone, but we're really connecting with the universe in this way. And my intuition is not intuition, but I've been told my gut feelings, and it has to have. I've got that skill that basically I can feel things, feel other people the way they're going with regards to what's happening within their lives, and sort of you can back off the things, move forward with things because of your gut intuition with those kind of things. There's a lot of wow. I'm still shaking my head. Bloody hell! There you go. There's a bloody for you.
Yeah,
I'm still in shock.
We're in the bloody Mercury retrograde. Oh, you know what? I almost forgot about that. I knew I made a video on it, but for some reason I forgot. So I think that is why some of the communication issues are coming up, or things are being misinterpreted. Some of my situations, and the test. It's like, but like you can always learn from it. You learn. You have the most growth through these tests. I also think another thing with the tests are the distractions that come up. Distractions are emotional triggers. Things that grab your attention in different ways, right? It could be me on TikTok, 5 a.m. I was sitting there like scrolling on TikTok. Sometimes I'm trying to make a video or like meditate or something, and someone literally interrupts me in the middle of my meditation. There's small tests and there's like bigger tests, even stuff with my as I was saying, ancestral trauma and stuff like that too. So it's constant. It's like it never ends, dude. I'm taking more time on myself now more than usual because it's a lot of heavy stuff, and I have to make some tough decisions on certain things, like even trying to move and stuff for the next couple months. So I have to make big decisions, and every time I'm trying to do that, there's someone trying to it's like test, because that's another level for me too. I don't want to make a big decision like that based on my emotions, right? Based on, I want to get the F out of here, I'm sick of this. That's not the right energy to like move out on, or make any decision from. So I'm learning to kind of sit back. Even like I was laying in bed all day yesterday for New Year's. I just sat and chilled. Didn't want to go do the party scene, and I felt better. I had to get myself together. I have to like make some decisions, and I can't be like all unstable up there,
Yeah.
Where are you, young Sarah? You've been very quiet there. What's happening over in with your witchy poo hat?
Yeah, I'm going through a lot of like very introspective lessons right now. Talking about like the communication, talking about like finding out where we're aligned, and like, putting yourself in situations that are for your highest good and for your peace of mind and sanity. I definitely, I've been practicing that a lot, and it's been shoved in my face quite a lot over the last couple of weeks of like, hey, are you going to put your foot down about your boundaries around this? Are you going to stick up for your values? Are you going to, fight for what you believe in? Or are you just going to keep quiet and keep on going? So I've had plenty of opportunities to make those types of choices lately. And the more I choose, not even necessarily in a selfish way, but the more that I choose what feels aligned for me and my purpose, the more things around me are opening up and flowing for other people.
Yeah.
And
you've got to back. You've got to back, Sarah. You've got to back yourself in. You're talking about, that little thing you were saying about being your true self. You were saying about even your name. You were saying about it. You got some serious power within you. I've always said that. No, you can see
I'm
it.
trying to remember exactly what I said. I've said a lot of very deep things to many different people in the last couple of days. I'm trying to remember what I said to you.
The deep thing is you got to back your power in. You've got this next year. You've got to just connect to the universe, ladies and gentlemen. We do have the power within ourselves. Believe me, we're all coming into something in this. It might sound like witchy poo magical stuff, but I think it's just connecting with the universe, connecting with the earth, because of the way the world is at the moment, or the way the world has been we're sort of moving away from that connection to the earth. And once you get that back, wow, it's just like, hello, what's going on here?
Yeah, it's been really great for me anyway. Like over the last, basically this year has been like, it's almost like this year was designed to put me on the path of like finding my truest self. And like everything
Matt's
from,
going in. Matt's just so you know.
oh,
Yeah,
okay.
go ahead. You can finish. I was just letting you know he's coming. Okay.
Yeah, just like from the aspect of like, embracing my spiritual heritage and like stop trying to chase different modalities that aren't actually connected with me energetically. They're there and they're great. But when it comes to like
Hey.
where I come from, hey Matt, how's it going? Here, hi to Matt. Hey Matt.
Hi,
Yeah,
everybody.
mate.
Hey.
Happy New
How are you,
Year.
buddy? How are you, buddy?
I'm doing pretty good. How about everybody else?
Very good.
Good.
New year, new way of life. I think we were just talking about all the changes that have come the last couple of months for all of us. Just coming into our own selves and I think growing into our universal connection
Yeah.
and getting, just finding our true selves. It's just been amazing. How you? I mean, what about yourself, mate? How you been?
Absolutely amazing. No complaints whatsoever. End of 2022 rolled out perfectly for 2023.
Yeah.
So we're basically
Yeah,
talking today, but we're just basically talking today about our increased awareness for ourselves. There's a lot of things been happening. I've seen a couple of your memes, mate. I think you've been really pushing the backing yourself in, and with regards to what you, regards to whether it be relationships, whether it be yourself, just getting that connection back with the earth and the universe. I see. So I think we're just sort of sitting there. We're really reflecting on what we've done the last couple of months. I was just saying to Sarah what she's coming into a lot of power now, power within herself. You probably, I don't know about you, but can you see a change in our glow? I mean, it's 6:30 in the morning. I look like I've just come out of a bar. But
Actually, give me 1 second. Let me look at everybody real quick. Yes, everybody's aura is actually greatly enhanced.
Really?
Everybody's got a aura around them that is actually very strong energy.
Cool.
Sweet.
thought so.
Awesome.
We were just well, I'll start with mine, and then the girls can cut in. So pretty much, I was talking to you about finding the soul love that I found. It just it's like the gift from the gods, as I call it. Going with the I think, and basically with that comes with going with the flow. And I think you talked a lot about in your last episode about actually backing yourself in and going with what the universe, or with what your life lesson is. So something comes up, we attract to it, we deal with it, and then we move on. So what the Tao says, especially when it comes to relationships. Because your one last time was amazing with regards to what you were saying.
Yeah.
That,
He has good stuff.
the I tell you what, hey mate, I still use the Disney one I used. Go, bloody Disney has screwed
It's
relationships
true,
up. They go,
man.
what do you
Yeah.
mean by that? What do you mean by that? I go, mate, here we go. I go through what you said, man. They go, oh, really? It does too. So with regards, obviously, we're looking. Firstly, we're looking at I mean, I could say I found my soul love, and the way I found it was basically, and this is where it comes into the power. You feel, you come together, and it's just right. And I think you can use that theory within life as well, but I don't think a lot of us do. So what do you feel about that? It's a simple question to start with.
Well, I think society's been programmed to not to.
Right.
Between social media, the main focus is scrolling. I mean, let's be honest here, okay? A video on how to cure your own depression without medication will get about 5 views.
Yeah.
A cat playing with a piece of paper will get about 2 million.
Yeah.
Let's be honest here. Society
Yeah.
is so distracted.
It's a TikTok generation. Yeah.
Yes, they're
Yeah.
so distracted from being able to actually reconnect themselves to all that they are and all that they truly desire in this life.
The problem I find with social media, in sharing what we share and the limited views on the type of stuff that we get versus the cats, is when people are sitting scrolling on their phone, they're not really in the mindset of like, how can I help myself?
Yeah.
They're in a mindset of, I want to zone out.
I want to distract myself.
Kitty.
Yeah.
Oh,
I don't want to
there's a
feel
kitty.
this. Yeah.
Oh, haha,
Yeah.
yeah. Like, I don't want to feel this.
Yeah.
Anytime they see a thing about when they're in that state and you see a self-help thing, your subconscious mind will register it as, this is useful for me. You might even put the heart, you might like it, but you're not going to look at it and soak it in the same way you're going to watch that cat video 6 times in a row. Just let it play. Because you're not in that receptive mode when you're in scrolling mode. You're not in learning mode. You're not in the mode to absorb things that are good for your well-being. You're in zone out. You're in autopilot. You're not really absorbing the things that are in front of you. So it's kind of unfortunate for people like us who have great messages that want to share them on these platforms, because the people looking at these platforms aren't necessarily in a receptive mode to hear or pick up what we're saying in an impactful way. So it's a little bit of a disjointed thing where it's like, spiritual workers got to get on social media. You got to get your message out there, but everyone looking at the message isn't in a mode to receive it. Mm-hmm. So it's the way the platforms are designed, but yet as spiritual coaches and workers, we're being told by everyone else, you got to get on social media. You got to put your message out there. You got to do this. But people aren't receiving it the way that it needs to be received, in my opinion. So it's like, I've been thinking about a way that we could potentially fix this or like shift it. But yeah, I don't know. Seems like a really big job for one person to do on their own.
Well, I can actually chime in a little bit on that. Okay, because you guys know I do also teach business. Yeah. Now, there's 2 aspects that really everybody needs to pay attention to. And this is for everybody that's a shadow worker or holistic service. You really need to tune this in. Number 1, TikTok runs 2 algorithms, one for the United States and Europe and one for the rest of the world. Now, the one for the United States and Europe, you are literally going to have to work twice as hard to get out there and viewed. The cat photos or somebody doing some stupid dance is going to be the number 1 because the algorithm is created to do so. If you jump on TikTok and say China or another Asian area, you are going to get spelling bees. You are going to get people that are achieving things, children that are achieving things, martial art competitions, reward ceremonies. That's what their algorithm is. The very things that we are trying to help society do is that algorithm. The one that majority of us get isn't.
So are you saying spiritual coaches should have a cat in their lap when they make a video if you live in Canada or the US or Europe?
Are you mate, you're reading my thing. I got my partner's cat here.
Just joking, by the way, but I mean, I do have the cat.
Well, when it comes to business, a focused thought, the average person has 9 seconds to gain their attention. So that means if somebody's actually focused, I am depressed, I want help, you got 9 seconds to grab their attention.
I thought it was lower than that, but that makes sense.
The average child is 7 seconds. So adults and children are not too far from each other.
Yeah.
We've lost connection.
We've
lost connection to the universe and to the earth. But I see that, look, there's nothing wrong. I've always said there's nothing wrong with what we do, like having these Zoom meetings, enjoying everything that the inventions and creations, but they are used as a distraction. That's the bad thing. So once you step away and you go, oh yeah, like Sarah and I collect collectibles and all that, it's nice to have, but people are where they are spiritually and mentally, they use it where they find it's an absolute distraction because they're not aware. So, there's nothing wrong with enjoying what we've got, because that's what this life's about. But the way it's being used against us to keep us grounded, to keep us or keep us from being grounded, mind you. Once we wake up, we've talked about this on Life Theories a fair few times. What do you think there, Matty?
Well, I think everything in society is there to disconnect us from the rubber soles on our shoes. That disconnects us from the natural electromagnetic grid of the earth, to all the way down to chemtrails polluting the air, which is altering the magnetic state and creating stagnant energy in the air we breathe, to the water we drink. Everything in society today is there to disconnect us. And it's up to us to become aware of how to reconnect.
And look, as I said to you, there's nothing wrong with enjoying what we can enjoy. But as you said, I think we're going to have a purpose of reconnecting. And I'm just thinking, like, you pick up an energy or a feeling, and you just know it's right. The person might not have a clue of it, but this energy is right with what's going on. You can pick up people's moods. You can pick up this. You can pick up that. And I think with regards to what's happening, as you said, mate, we could talk about the Disney theory, which we love. You can see the four of us have really connected in a way where we're getting back into that life with what's going on. And all the stuff you've been putting up on Facebook and stuff. Facebook's a great thing you can use to spread the word. And we're still doing that. This is what I've always said. So, yeah. But it's getting out there that people are not connecting at all, and they're trying to hold on, or they don't understand what's going on in the world. They just do not get it. They work out, okay, hang on a minute, I'm feeling funny, I'm trying to hang on to my old life. And they don't see when we ascend as people, it's a weird thing, and we've been pulled back. Or we've been, I guess, judged, but we have to sort of hold that judgment.
You talk about everyone's being distracted from connecting with themselves, but a lot of people can't even sit with themselves, like, alone. I was one of those people too, through my addiction. The reason I was using all the time, because I had such intense emotions, I had no idea how to cope with them, and I could not sit like being by myself. I had to be with a guy or a friend or a drug. It's painful to connect with myself. But I hadn't done any shadow work at that time too. But after I started doing shadow work and stuff, completely changed. But a lot of people can't even face their own shadow. You present them with something, a trigger or something, or insecurity or fear, like they're just distracting. Let me go on TikTok, let me go drink, let me go use this, let me go have sex, let me go whatever, scroll on social media. What do we do about that? Like, a lot of people don't want to, and the shadow is tapping you so much. The shadow is like so big that you can't run away from it anymore. That's why I think what's going on with the frequency shift on the planet. So it's like people are being forced. It keeps tapping. Like, you see my shadow in the background, actually, in the picture. But it's like, but it's literally like you can't run from it anymore. It's there, and I think that's why a lot of people are really struggling, especially people that have never had any spiritual awakening. I'm not saying I'm completely awakened, but I've gone through enough level and done some shadow work. If I was just starting to awaken at this time right now, with everything else that's going on in the world, all the fear that's being put out 24/7, all the programming, everything just programmed, right? It's all information. And I'm very hypersensitive now. Even it's almost like I used to absorb all that stuff. I used to like eating the junk food. I used to love having depressing music. I used to like binging on Netflix and scrolling social media. And no wonder I was like feeling that way. But some people, they're so stuck in that loop, they can't notice all these things are causing that, but it sucks. I don't know what the answer is, man. I don't know. I mean, we try to help people and we can only help ourselves, but I just see this on a mass level, and I guess everyone has to go through their own journey. I don't know. That's all I gotta say about that, but it's tough.
I would say awareness is the key.
Yeah.
there's a difference between like knowing the path and walking the path. Like everyone jumps on, say, like you said, Netflix, but nobody really knows what the patent for a television actually is. A patent for a television is actually classified under a mind control device.
Yeah.
There also is a patent that literally states that DVDs, movies, streaming, TV, radio is all a mind altering device. It can change the frequency of your brain patterns.
Yep.
It's all public record. If anyone doesn't believe it, look it up. It's all public record.
Well, we all run by frequencies, don't we, Matt?
That's all energy is. It's a pressure wave. That's all sound is. It's a pressure wave. The amount of force put in motion. Once you understand that, you can actually manipulate that energy to come in and released out in motion. And that's key for everybody in this world to understand.
I believe that because, as I said to you, so once you let yourself go and become aware of all this, especially when it comes to mind, I think that what you said was key. Being aware and where your mind is, especially when we go through the shadow work that we've all done. You have a look at what simply fact. I don't mind watching those, watching a movie here and there or something. But have a look at why you're watching it and what state you're in. Yeah, I take that out. Now I know exactly why, because I know a certain movie set me off with the mindset I have, and that's when I started falling into the spiritual breakdown type thing. I can watch it now and laugh about it because I'm definitely ascending and doing the work and meeting all you guys. Go to the next thing, Matt. I wanted to ask you about attractions to not just partners, but also people. Like it's just really weird that all of us have connected. Like, not weird. We can say it's not weird, but you can see the difference in vibration in how we attract and repel certain people. And you being with regards to relationship coaching and all those things, how do you see that progressing in the world today? Because I know for a fact that we're all doing that. What do you say? What do you think about that?
Well, I think people's demons will attract other people's demons, just like people's divine will attract other people's divinity. Now, if you aren't healed as an individual, what honestly makes you think that you are going to attract a healed person to you? And if you're healed and you are being pursued by people that are not healed, what makes you think that you literally can date them? People need to really understand their intentions. If you're healed and you're attracting people who are not healed, or if you're healed and you are pursuing somebody that's healed, that's not for dating and relationships. That is for the improvement of the relationship itself, to learn by their example. Yeah. Not everyone they meet is going to be a dating partner. Society has been tricked to believe that males only pursue females for dating and vice versa. A male can be friends with a female and have zero interest in her whatsoever beyond that, and vice versa.
I agree with that. I agree. I fully agree with that. It's just a case of throughout the years, you always say, the big myth is males should not be best friends with females. That's absolute crap in my opinion. It's where you're at. It's where you're at, spiritually and mentally. That you can sit in a room and talk to your besties, regardless of the sex they're in, the sex they are. You know what I mean? Especially when you understand that. What you said, sex means nothing to do with relationships. It's a next level connection.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, let's be honest. We're all human. Sex is fun. Role play, right. Intimacy, all that stuff, it's fun. But that will never sustain a relationship. Only thing that will sustain for a longevity time is if you're in the porn industry because you're getting paid money to do so. Other than that, it ain't going to do nothing for a relationship. Nothing. You need that best friend. You need that spiritual connection. You need that mental and emotional connection. That's what sustains a relationship. Not the ideology of, I got a boyfriend, therefore they're supposed to love me, or I got a girlfriend, therefore they're supposed to love me. No, it's the reasons why they love you. It's why they end up loving you.
We always say that, Matt. I'm butting in here a little bit, so I'll let the girls go in a minute. It's coming from a female's perspective. I'm very interested. We get pushed that in some ways, but then it's funny that we don't actually follow through on it with a lot of that stuff. You know, the best friend thing, you know what I mean? We all know it's obvious, but you can see a lot of the stuff now, you know, because there's a lot of people who are self-centered and go, well, I've been, as I said, depending on where you're at in life, and you basically sell yourself for that pure love, which is, for me, it could be a drug, but it could not be, you know what I mean? But what do you think, girls, about that, coming from a female perspective? Like, you know, we have the simple things that Matt's saying, like, yes, best friend thing, like we're all best friends. The next level should be quite easy, but it's not.
Well, I feel like society has really done a number, going back to like the television's brainwashing us and the radio's brainwashing us. It's done a number on what a relationship is supposed to be and how love is supposed to look. And I'm actually dealing with this with a client of mine right now. His biggest, deepest desire since I've started working with him is to find a partner. But his desire is so strong. He's pushing every opportunity for that to come into his life away from him. And it's even to the point where, like, I was like, okay, well, why don't you explore finding activities that you enjoy and just go do them on your own. Go and really love what you're doing. Really enjoy yourself. Enjoy your own company. Go really spend time loving on yourself. Feel that loving energy for yourself. The more you can give yourself that, the more women will be attracted to you. The energy you're putting out right now is so desperate and so unattractive that nobody, the woman that you're saying is right there waiting for you, you're pushing her away further and further by the day. In order to break through that, you've got to bring the love back to yourself. And if you can do that, your partner will come. And he sort of took my advice and he started doing a thing and it was going really well. But then within a couple of weeks, it turned into, I'm having a really good time at these events. And this is what's happening too. I'm going to the event. There's going to be 6 women there. And it's like, so it started
His
with
reaction.
I'm like, you've just gone 6 steps back. The amount of women are there, or the amount of steps you've taken backwards by putting your mentality there. I find that society is so like, find a partner, find somebody to marry. If you're this age and you don't have somebody, you're a failure. Like, it's so bad. And I didn't realize, like, because I don't really feel that way about, like, I need to find somebody. Like, I'm happy within myself. I do have somebody that's long distance and wonderful, but I don't have that desperation in me to have that connection. But watching this through my client, it's like, he's sort of a really good representation on how much the masculine, like the masculine energy of this planet has been brainwashed into thinking the wrong things about relationships and what men actually need. Because one of the biggest things is, well, I need this to be a success in my life. I need this by a certain time, or else people are going to view me in this way. And it's not constructive. And it's not even of him. It's all of society's programming coming out of him in this horrible desperation. And it's like, I know he's not the only person going through this right now. And it actually really upsets me. And, working through these things with him, it's like, I wish men weren't so damaged, and people in general weren't so damaged by the media on what a relationship should be and what you need in your life to constitute as love. Because there's so many people that are lacking love within themselves and trying to find it outwardly. Yep. And not achieving that because they have no love for themselves, that they're not magnetized to love because they're not looking at giving it to themselves. So they're basically repelling it. And yeah, that's just my take on it. I'm really upset at how the world has been manipulated into thinking they need something outside of themselves in order to constitute as love. And it really bothers me. And because of that, it goes into what Jay is saying of, well, men and women can't be friends because men and women need to just be together to be in a relationship. And if you don't have the relationship, you failed. And if that woman doesn't want to be with you, then you're a failure or you're a loser. And it's like, it's crap. It's crap. I hate the way that this society looks at relationships and what love really is supposed to be. I hate it.
Well, maybe all four of us should give our take on it.
Sorry, say that again, Matt?
Maybe all four of us should give our take on it. A little disclaimer for society about dating, love, and relationships. Instead of all of us being upset about it, let's talk about it.
That's a good idea.
Go dive.
Oh, wow. Wow. There's so much to say. Okay.
Look at where this conversation headed, right?
Oh God, this is where it's going. You know it.
I'm through a lot of my experiences, and especially seeing the stuff with my parents and the world around me and the people around me. I'm observing a lot more from a little bit of a different standpoint. I do see all the programming. I see how a lot of people are very wounded, especially at my age. People have been cheated on. They've seen their parents dysfunctional, and no one really knows like what a healthy relationship is. But what I've learned through my own experiences, when I finally just stopped the search and I just really worked on myself and healing myself and becoming my best version and even stepping into more of my life purpose, right? Authentically expressing myself, even through my YouTube, through whatever, right? That's when my energy is better and I'm more content with myself. Like, I used to be someone that always had to be with a guy. I used to be very wounded too. And I had trust issues. I was an addict on top of that. So it was just a bunch of emotional trauma all mixed, right? But when I just really started to put myself first and stop putting this relationship on a pedestal, stop putting these guys on a pedestal, stop putting their needs over mine or my need for attention over my worth, and stuff like that, things drastically change and I become more content with myself and I'm good either way. Like, I'm just like, I have more energy. Like, I've completely changed because I was not like this. I had to be with someone all the time. I always had to have even constant attention, like texting someone all day. I had a big void inside and I was just constantly filling it with substances and guys, and it was never enough, no matter how much attention I got from the guys. Same with the drug thing, right? I feel like that need went away when I just started focusing on myself and healing myself. I'm not saying I'm perfect or anything, but when I just started putting myself first, and we talked about this earlier, choosing my peace over everything. So even if I'm attracted to this guy, even if this guy says he loves me, even if he provides me things I want and need, if he is causing more chaos in my life, which I was kind of used to chaos, right? Or if he's just causing me to be emotionally, like, if it doesn't fit, like, you just feel vibration, like something's off. And we're all humans, we get triggered and stuff, but if something is constantly causing you to go back in a lower state, I don't know. I'm not saying I don't take responsibility for anything I do, but when something's like, you're trying to force something that maybe isn't right. And it's easier for me to let stuff go now. And every time I choose myself over that, things get better. Bring more things into my life, like better things into my life. Even abundance comes in, more opportunities, because I'm letting go of like what doesn't serve. We're very aware. We know what's in alignment, what's not. And I just keep choosing what feels good, like what feels like this is more in alignment with my higher self. I don't care the label of whatever, we're talking about twin flames, relationship, or soulmate, or whatever you think someone is to you, or this person checks all these boxes, right? The fairy tale stuff. But if this person is not like going where I want to go in life too, like if I see their lifestyle isn't even like mine, like I'm just choosing myself. And that's a big thing for me, because I always put the guy's needs before mine. I always go in their world. I would completely let my boundaries go and not pursue anything I want to do. It just, everything was about them. So I think you just got to choose yourself and heal yourself and do what's best for you, regardless of, I know we have needs for sex. I know we have needs for attention, love, whatever. But, I mean, you have to choose yourself always, you know?
Yeah. And that's like one of the biggest things I've been teaching my client too, is like, okay, let's reel it back. Let's remove the idea of somebody else providing this love to you and give it to yourself. And I gave him this huge list of all of these different things that he can do to show himself love and show himself the level of love that he's looking to give to a partner, and like how to actually do that and how to take the steps to like reel it back in and like bring your energy back towards filling your own cup first, instead of trying to find an empty cup that maybe wants to accept your water. Like, it's just fill your own cup first, because it's clearly empty. And, you know, like if you're feeling that desperation, that need to, you know, find somebody or drown yourself in drugs and alcohol or video games or whatever other addictive substances that you can do, and you start noticing this, all you have to do to pull yourself out of that, or to start pulling yourself out of that, is put the focus back on yourself and ask yourself, what is it that I need right now that I can give myself right now? And follow through on that need, follow through on that request, give yourself that. And the more you keep giving yourself the things that you need, instead of trying to find it at the bottom of a bottle, at the bottom of a bucket of chicken, at the end of a level of a video game, or in a group of people, it's giving yourself your power back. It's taking the power to make yourself happy, to put the smile on your face, to bring yourself joy, to balance yourself. And, you know, really putting yourself in a position where you're taking the power of how you feel and taking the power of what it is that you're looking for and giving it to yourself. So that's really important.
Are you doing it for yourself, Sarah?
I am, yeah. Like,
good,
because
all I say is we give so much advice and we don't give it to ourselves. That's all I know.
I know that was something you and I had talked about. Actually, it was like we actually called each other out on something. It was like, oh wait, I was giving you advice. I'm like, oh shit, I'm not doing that. And you gave me advice, and you're like, oh crap, mate.
Yeah, exactly.
We do that to each other a lot. We give each other our own advice.
We do.
That's good though.
Maddie, what do you think, mate? What's your take on it?
Okay. Hi, society. My name is Matt, and I'm literally going to tell you everything you don't want to hear. And maybe
I love the attitude, man. I like the energy. Okay.
Love it.
Bottom line, needing nothing attracts everything. If you need love, don't date. If you need a companion, don't date. Bottom line, look at it like this. How would you feel knowing full well that you are being used simply to make somebody feel better about themselves? Nobody would like that.
Ouch.
So if you need love, you need a relationship, you need these things, don't date. That's not fair to do to somebody else. In fact, I will call it out. That's hypocritical. That it's okay for you to treat others as a coping mechanism to feel better about yourself, then it is not right for them to do that to you. Think about that.
Makes absolute sense to me.
Damn.
I look at situation now and situations past totally different. You're exactly right, because we've all given ourselves love now. We've all found it. We made a choice to love ourselves, right? Let's be honest, right? And then we actually go in deep and go, well, why we're doing things. And obviously we did all the shadow work and all that. But then you come out. If you had said that to me about 10 years ago, I would have gone, oh yeah, that's about right, and gone and done the same thing. But you are 100% right. It's what happened, right? People don't want to hear that.
No, they don't. But somebody needs to say it.
There's a lot of people in relationships right now that they should not be in. They have no business being in, and they're just there for selfish reasons because they have a need that needs to be met. That doesn't even necessarily mean that you're the right fit for them. You're just fulfilling this weird, selfish desire to not be alone. And
that's really weird.
Dog.
It's terrible.
Yeah, it's true.
And
you see people
get a cat, get a bird, get some goldfish, something. If you don't want to be alone, get a pet. Take care of the pet. Yeah. Nurture the pet. You're not alone.
Get something that actually needs you to survive, if that's the case. If you want to feel needed, get a dog. They're really needy. Like, they need your attention. They need to be taken for walks. They need to be trained. They need to be played with. They need all of the things. If you're that level of needy, get a freaking dog. Don't be in a relationship.
I mean, nobody wants to love somebody and be used by them. But we got a whole generations upon generations that are
I've been on
dating
both ends
and married to each other doing the exact same thing.
Oh God!
But they don't understand. I'm
thinking about some relationships right now that are like that. Oof.
I know some people, like I've seen some people, and they just don't get it. But I guess us being spiritual warriors or empaths or what have you, white lighters or whatever you want to call it. What Maddie's saying is exactly right, but it's hard. It's not. It's just a choice. I shouldn't say it's hard, but it's a choice to go down that path, and maybe in some way we are giving them what they want. But what about us? I've got to be a little bit selfish in these ways, because if we keep giving our power away, which we are, we're giving our power away instead of healing. So see the difference in the statements. The statement of healing somebody, but then giving the power away. I know a situation where someone went. There's a female-male relationship. Well, not even a relationship. One was the female was keen on the male, a friend of mine, and he said, "No, I can't do it." And she went. She goes. She was really upset with it. But how I said to him, I go, "Look, she's got to look at herself. It's not being rejected herself." The first question I would have asked is, does she love herself, or does he love herself? Love himself? It's a big key thing. I think it'd be the first thing in some type of therapy session. Would that be fair, Matt?
Actually, I actually love the topic. Tomorrow's reel that I'm going to be posting on Facebook is rejection does not hurt.
We're all empaths. We're all picking this stuff up. So it's a.
No, I mean, a lot of people mistaken hurt for disappointment. Nobody's hurt because they're rejected. Nobody's hurt because they're broken up
their
with.
Ego, man. It's their ego.
Yes, it's the disappointment of the hopes, wants, expectations that they put on a relationship and a person. Yeah. That's what hurts. The disappointment that those weren't met.
Yeah.
That's fair.
Very fair.
Excuse me.
And many of the times it's not even that person doing it. It's our own expectations that have created the disappointment, because we've created a pedestal and put things so high up to what they really are and what they're actually providing us, that we create all of these expectations. And we create our own disappointment by putting things so high up there and creating all of these expectations about what things should and shouldn't be. And sadly, a lot of those expectations are based on the media brainwashing that we deal with and talked about earlier. Mm-hmm. So it's kind of like, it's not even really your expectations. It's societal expectations, or, community expectations, or cultural expectations, or family expectations. They're not even your own expectations. They're just expectations put on you by other people. And then when that doesn't get met, you feel disappointed.
But we do all this self-work, right? We told all to, we go in, but it's really jaded in a lot of ways once we look at it, because it's not really jaded. It's jaded because we're doing what society wants to do to get better, instead of actually listening to us, what we're saying here, and actually going in deeper and actually backing yourself in to what you feel and where you need to be. And you've got to have a trusted and safe environment to express that self, to become better. And I don't think there's enough trusted areas, excuse me, trusted people. Everyone goes, oh, yeah, I trust this person when they're with their therapy and all those kind of things. But is it a safe environment? Probably not. Because I think people, I know myself, this is coming from my own personal thing, I don't think I would have been nowhere near where I am if it wasn't for going with Greg Riley and Michael McNair with the safe environment they did exactly what Maddie's talking about is calling yourself out and saying, what do you like about yourself, and not being judged for the reactions that come out. That's the big thing, is I think these professionals want you to, if you say something, they judge you. That's what they're paid for. They won't be fair to say, Maddie. And I think if you go into a really safe area to go to the lowest part of yourself, okay, and bring everything out, and you're not judged for the reactions that you do, because you know there's a lot of, inner child work and all that stuff that has to be done and where you're developing, and then you can actually express yourself and find out why it's happened, and then move on from there. Because I really don't think people do that. They go to a certain point where they're sort of still controlled and their issues are still sort of buried.
Yeah, I mean, bottom line, what is depression? Depression is your own biology declaring your mind and your thoughts to be an enemy. So it is a chemical hormone release to protect your body from potential anxiety attacks from the BS that's going on in your head. Bottom line, that's what it is. Bottom line, that is the physiology effect on your body. If you need to go to a safe environment to open up, you got to start beginning to be a safe environment so you can open up.
Yeah.
And then once you can open up, you need a safe environment without the judgment, the criticism, the ridicule, hoping you say these things so I could write you a prescription so I could get that monthly check. No. You need to be able to express yourself and actually be heard. And that begins with you creating yourself to be a safe environment.
Yeah.
If you're not safe, you're going to pick unsafe environments.
Yeah.
That's an interesting point. What do you think, Diana? Because we've been in similar situations. So what do you think about that? Because that makes, for me, that when I did go through the Shadow Warrior work, that makes total sense. I was given the chance to create that safe environment and also understand that I have choice. That was I never knew I had choice, Matty, for 40 odd years. We make choices every day, but really realize you have a choice of where your mind is going to be going, how you react to these things. You don't really, that's sort of taken away from you, and people think it's ridiculous. But I think Diana would say the same thing. What do you reckon about that?
If anybody knows about unsafe environments, me, with the whole addiction. With the whole addiction thing, yeah. And I just I became so used to that. So even when I did heal myself and get clean and stuff, it didn't feel right. Because and I think we talked about that with Matt before, or I talked about with him before too. And we were even talking about partners, or how I would attract weird guys. If I go someplace, I would attract these weird guys. And I would say, hey, I still don't always feel safe in environments because I was so used to being in bad environments with the whole addiction thing. So but you did tell me once your brain deems it safe and your body deems it safe, then you'll have a different outcome or whatever. So, and that has changed. I keep making choices on a daily basis. This isn't something that happened overnight. It's still something that sometimes I, struggle with. But the more I have made my environment safe in here, even choosing what I'm programming into my brain, putting what I'm putting into my body, the people I'm interacting with, the more I protect my energy and stuff, and even making choices. Sometimes I choose, to be at home and just be by myself more if I know it's an environment that might not be the best place for me for a variety of different reasons. The more I've chosen that, the more I do feel safe. And even where I'm at right now, I'm looking at apartments now to move out finally, because now I feel even though this might have been comfortable, I had tragedy with my mom and stuff, I still feel like it's not really the best. Like I'm noticing vibrationally that this is not, now that I've healed myself more and I've gotten better, I was saving up money. That was another thing. But now I feel like it's just like I need to be in a safer place where I can express myself more and not, family members sometimes can be toxic. I know we've talked about that with Matt too. And it's maybe not the best for the next level of healing I'm trying to do. And maybe you don't feel safe for different reasons, or you don't feel comfortable. Maybe safe isn't a word, but sometimes you just feel uncomfortable maybe expressing yourself with certain family members, or you feel like you're going to be attacked, especially if they're like a narcissist or something. You're an empath, so it's like I still find myself having my guard up a little bit. And when you mix in trauma and like grief and all that stuff, so I realized that this is not really the best place for me to step to my next level. So now I'm going to pick it even better. I wouldn't say safer, but better environment for my like growth and stuff that's more in alignment. Because now I'm seeing this became comfortable for a while. I was like, now I become hypersensitive. I'm like, oh, what am I like doing? I think I need to move on, even if it's a little expensive, whatever. I can make that work. It's not a big deal. So it's again the theme of picking my peace over what's comfortable, or over maybe feeling bad wanting to help family members through tough times or whatever, help people. I've been in this situation in relationships before too. The last person I was with, I had left for that same reason. I didn't feel like right in the environment anymore. It's the same thing. It's like you wake up all of a sudden, once you finally do enough work, it's like, oh, what am I doing here? You ever had that happen where you look around where you're at and you're like, because you've done a lot of work, I'm not saying you're way above it, but like you've healed yourself and you're just realizing this is toxic. I don't need this toxicity. Like,
that's happened to me before.
It's like an awakening. You're almost like, whoa, I'm here. It's so weird. I can't explain it. It's almost like it's like a different level of awakening or something. I don't even know what it's really it's interesting.
It's almost like your higher self jumps into your body for a second.
Yeah.
You're like, this is not right.
Yeah.
It's happening.
We go about flow. So you're going about flow too. So that goes on with the intuition that we have within ourselves with situations and feeling. I think, something that came through with Jackie Lyons that I did the Akashic Records. I call it esoteric, as I usually do, but mainly my intuition. I think that goes, that goes into what Maddie's saying, that we have to trust ourselves, and a lot of these, and this society has basically taken that self-trust from ourselves. You can see the way, even the expression, I see the expression that Maddie speaks with. All right, so guys, we're gonna close this session off. I'm out. It's 7:30 and such a lovely day out here in Australia, Melbourne, Australia. God, that's a change. So thank you so much for Matt to being on board. Anu Anaki on Facebook, and mate, if you see some of the stuff he's putting up, amazing stuff.
Yeah, good stuff.
He shoots from the hip, and that's exactly what we need in this world. Because I mean, a lot of people can't take the truth. There you go. You can cut that out or not, but it's true. But we have Diana from Trailblazer the Universe, our meme queen who loves Leonardo DiCaprio so much, and she's up in the space. Off she goes with her rockets. Okay, yes, but she's doing wonderful things on TikTok, on Facebook, and on Instagram, and you'll catch her anywhere and everywhere, really.
YouTube.
So, YouTube, of course. And then we've got Small Sarah Big Soul, our foundation, the Mother Earth, and the one who keeps us sane in this group. She's got the power. You've got the power. Look at that. It's because of that hat.
It's a good hat. You can
find her on. That's a great hat. You can find her on TikTok, Instagram at the moment, and make sure you like and share all our social medias. I'll let you know about mine, White Warrior Health, Junior of a White Feather, on YouTube, Facebook. I just share everyone else's stuff because I have about another 10 things to do, but it's what we have to do at this present stage. Thank you so much for being a part of Life Theories, and also the big fella, Batman, Cortez Medford, Spiritual Needs TV. Thank you so much, Matt. Once again, hats off to you. You're a legend. We'll have you back on in a couple of weeks, I reckon, because we've got a lot more to talk about, because I think we're just coming out of the big wave of 2022 into 2023.
Yeah. And if you like what you saw today, don't forget to like and subscribe. Hit that little bell
and
button.
Also,
you see our name.
we've got the bell. But what about jumping on now? We're officially podcasters on Spotify, Apple Play,
Spotify,
and Google
Apple,
Play.
Google, and there's like a bunch of other like smaller ones. But yeah, we're doing bigger things now. The podcast is just called Life Theories for anyone that's interested.
Peace out. Dude, be your best self. And I hope you enjoyed 2023. Happy New Year from the Life Theories crew.
Happy New Year. Bye.